So speaking of like Flickr and even YouTube and others, we're starting to get into social media a bit, and that's really burgeoned over the last few years. And what exactly does social media mean?
So I think social media necessitates some participatory component, an element where the visitors to the site can either create their own content or influence the content that does appear on the site. So you could say, for example, that the New York Times technically is somewhat, social media, because the most emailed and most linked to and most talked about stories do appear in there. They'll link out to blogs that cover stuff. They will, they do allow comments. I think, what was it, 3 weeks ago or so, for the first time ever, they had featured comments on the front page of the New York Times, and people were going, oh my gosh, these are the most visible comments ever in the web. So, yeah, participatory, you can be very, very low level participatory, something like NewYorkTimes.com, or you can be extremely high level participatory, which would be something like Craigslist or Wikipedia or, YouTube or Flickr, where all of the content is user generated.
Right, this user-driven comment would be the defining factor
of social media. Yeah.
Do you see social media, the role of social media in search increasing in the future?
Absolutely. I think because the web itself is moving in that direction, and you're seeing the popularity of social media rise meteorically, the search engines are going to follow suit. I can't tell you how many calls we get from traditional businesses, NFL teams, folks at magazines, folks at media companies who call up and they say, hey, we're thinking about adding a social media component to our site, and do you have someone you can recommend, or can you help us out with that kind of thing? That's everyone kind of getting on that bandwagon and recognizing that value. And with things like, I'll go back to the New York Times again, right? They opened up all their archive content to kind of be available, their last 100 years of articles.
Wow.
And instead of having that behind a wall and charging for it, they opened it up because they realized the advertising money is more worthwhile because of how much traffic can flow to the site. I think that a ton of businesses are going to start looking in that direction and saying, wow, if I could just have the content, and they'll look to the users to do it.
Yeah.